Hey babes, welcome back to the channel. My name is Bay and we are back with another foundation launch. It was literally just last week when I dropped my previous video on the new Natasha Denona foundations. Now Makeup by Mario has come out with his new foundation. You know we definitely have to get into it. I picked up two different shades just to see which one would fit me best. This is the new Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Natural Finish Foundation. I'm super excited for this new foundation because I am a huge Makeup by Mario fan. I have been loving his products since I started my makeup journey last year. If I could collect everything from his brand, I absolutely would. His older foundation is one out of the first foundations that I tried, and honestly it's a really good foundation even if you have oily or combination skin. I just think if you prep and set correctly, you should be good for the most part. I've never had any issues. It always looks phenomenal. If we compare the newer bottle with the older bottle, you can see that the older bottle is more clear, or it is clear, whereas the new bottle has this frosted look. Honestly, I love the new bottle component more than the older bottle. Just to give you a few details about the older formula, so this one was formulated to be more hydrating and luminous. I would say this one was more geared towards the dry skinned individuals, just to give that hydration back to the skin and give a nice luminous glow. I do have oily skin in the T-zone, and then my skin's normal pretty much everywhere else, but I still love this foundation and I use it to this day. In the older and the newer formula, he only formulated 32 shades. I do feel like in 2025, 32 shades is a little low, whereas you have like Natasha Denona, who came out with I think 51 shades, but I'm pretty sure Mario is always in the lab and we will definitely get more shades in the future. Okay, but let's talk about this new foundation. It's supposed to be fragrance free, medium coverage, non-comedogenic, cruelty-free, giving you a natural finish and vegan. This is a natural finish foundation with a weightless medium coverage that smooths and blurs for a second skin finish, providing an all-day shine control for up to 16 hours of hydration. Just to give you a few of the ingredients, it has shine control polymers and lightweight micro powders to provide a smooth and softly blurred effect. It also has glycerin and raspberry extract to really help lock in the moisture and enhance the skin's hydration, while also being infused with vitamin E, which is an antioxidant to protect the skin barrier. Just from reading it, it seems like this foundation has some really good skincare ingredients. Maybe it's going to give us a foundation, but with that serum type of feel. And I do enjoy a foundation or a makeup product that does have skincare benefits. I do get a feeling like this foundation is going to be a little bit liquidy, whereas his luminous one is a little bit thicker. It also states that this foundation is not shiny or overly matte, but it's a buildable coverage with a natural finish and feels comfortable for all day wear. It's non-drying, locks in your moisture while increasing the skin's hydration over time. It's sweat and humidity resistant, fragrance free, and best for normal to oily skin. Being an oily skin individual, at least in the T-zone, I am really hoping I love this foundation. So let's go ahead and get into it. I bought the shade 230. This one states that it's a medium dark for cool undertones. Just looking at it, it looks like it might be a little bit too light. And then looking at the shade 24N, looks like it might be a smidge too dark, as 24N is for dark with neutral undertones. Just so y'all can see both of those together, I do feel like there could have been a few shades in between the two. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Just like with his older formula, this new formula costs $48 retail. You get your standard 30 ml of product. It feels like the price of foundation just keeps going up and up, in my opinion. Like Natasha Denona's foundation was $52 for also 30 ml of product. But I guess the real question would be, is the foundation really worth the $48? His older formula, I would definitely pay the $48 again. I love the way that it applies. I love the way that it wears throughout the day. Even with me being an oily skinned individual, I still got a good 8 hours out of this foundation. So being that the new foundation is formulated for more normal to oily skin while giving a natural finish, I really think I'm gonna love this one even more. I might not need to purchase the luminous one again. We'll definitely see. So I want to do a few swatches so y'all can see these foundations on me. From what I've been told and from what I've seen, this foundation oxidizes really quickly. So if you're ever in Sephora and you're doing any swatches, you do want to swatch it and walk around for maybe 3 minutes. That way it can really sit on your skin and you can see the true color of it. Otherwise, you might end up with the wrong shade, and then when you get home, you're gonna realize that the shade just doesn't match. I'm pretty sure we've all been there before, and we do not want to have to keep going back and forth to Sephora. Which, by the way, you can get this foundation now from Sephora, or you can order it directly from Makeup by Mario's website. I got mine from Sephora. I'm a Rouge member, so I'm definitely trying to rack up on my points. I'm just gonna go in and put a little bit of 23-0 on this painted palette. Just so y'all can see, this is a liquidy foundation. It's not as thick as the original formula. I'm gonna do a pump of the 24N of the older formula right beside it. Each one is just one pump of both. As you can see, the older one is much thicker, and the newer one is a little runny. Yes, depending on how you're looking at it, it can either be a really good thing or a bad thing. Personally, I think I'm going to love it because I feel like it's going to give that more lightweight feeling, even though the other formula didn't feel heavy. But I do love a foundation that's a little bit lighter and a little thin. I'm going to do a quick swatch of the shade 23-0 on me. That way y'all can see how it looks freshly applied. And that is how it's looking. It's honestly looking like a really good shade match, but it is going to oxidize really quickly. So I'm going to come back in about 2 to 3 minutes. That way we can do a fresh swatch right beside it. While we're waiting for that to dry down, I do want to say, if you're new to my channel, thank you so much for watching. If you are liking the video so far, make sure that you subscribe and turn on your notification bells. That way you know whenever I post a new video. I do upload weekly, but I do think in the near future I will try to start uploading twice a week, only because I do get a lot of new products in, because I'm an individual that love to try out new things, new techniques, unboxing, different things like that. You can also follow me on my other social media platforms such as TikTok, Snapchat, and Instagram. Okay, so it's been a few minutes and we let her dry down, and y'all just look at that. It doesn't really give matte, but it doesn't give dewy or luminous that much. I think it is a nice natural finish, kind of glow from within type of look. What I wanted to point out is that you can definitely see that it's a little bit darker than what it was when we first applied it, because it oxidizes super quickly, but it doesn't oxidize and get more orange. I just think it oxidizes and it gets a little darker. So it's super important that if you go and get matched for this in store or anything like that, or you do some swatches, that you do allow a few minutes for it to settle, do its little magic, and then you can determine if it's the correct shade or not. I picked up 2 different shades, and I honestly think that I might go with this one for today because it looks super good. But I want to do a fresh swatch just so y'all can see exactly what I meant. Do y'all see? That's a fresh swatch of the foundation, same shade. This is 23-0. Then we have that same foundation just a few moments later. That's definitely a big difference, and something you should definitely take into consideration when choosing your foundation. So if you do feel like you get a more darker tone foundation, maybe go up a shade. Just definitely take that into consideration. I'm just trying to save you a trip or a headache. The other shade that I got was 24N, which is dark with neutral undertones. And as I said before, between these 2 foundations, I do feel like there can be like 1 or 2 shades in between them, only because this one is a little bit lighter and this one is a little darker. But because they oxidize super quickly, they're definitely going to turn out a little bit darker. So this one's going to be darker than what it is, and so is this one. But I do want to do a swatch of this one as well, just for anybody that is watching. So we got 24N. We're going to pump this one right here on this palette. This cute little palette is from Painted. I always use it with everything, but I did see where Makeup by Mario sent Jackie Aina one with her name on it from his brand. That Makeup by Mario Jackie Aina palette was so cute. I didn't find out that it was personalized for her until like a few days ago. But Mario, if you got some more, definitely slide one my way. So we're doing a swatch of 24N right over here. I think it might be a little bit too dark for me, although I definitely can make her work. I'm just going to let this one sit for a few minutes, about 2 to 3 minutes, let it oxidize, and then I'll come back so y'all can see how it looks. And then of course we'll do a fresh swatch of the same shade. While we're waiting for the other shade to oxidize completely, I just wanted to show y'all how that one swatch, or should I say how both of those swatches are now one big spot, and it looks even all the way through. Let's get into the coverage. This is supposed to be a medium buildable coverage, and I will say it does look like it's giving really good coverage, and I think I can agree that it is giving medium buildable, but I am just loving the finish. Like, it isn't giving matte, but it's not giving dewy, it's not giving luminous, giving like that natural finish to me. Honestly, I have been loving the natural finish foundations for sure. Now I'm just gonna do a fresh swatch right beside it just so y'all can see that when you apply it at first, it is a little bit lighter, and then over time it gets a little darker. 24N has dried down all the way and it's looking like one big swatch. Really good. I love the coverage of it just as I did the other side. When it comes to the two shades, at first, just looking at the bottle, I thought I would have to go with this shade because it was a little bit darker. When I looked at the bottle of the other shade, it looked a little bit too light. But after letting them sit, I can definitely say that I'm gonna go with this shade for sure. Let me go ahead and wipe these off so we can get prepped to put this foundation on. We are gonna test this out for today. Hopefully I can get a good 5 to 8 hours in. I'll definitely try my best to keep y'all updated. I'm not really going out anywhere, so this will be an indoor wear test. I really feel like you get a really good wear test when you wear it outside of the house, going out shopping, running a few errands, but I won't be doing any of that today because every time I step out the house, I always spend money that I don't need to spend. So anyway, I'll definitely be right back so we can get into it. Now, I really want to give this foundation the best chance possible, so I'm going to go in with the One Size Oil Sucker. I'm super oily in the T-zone, and this is amazing to keep those oils at bay. I'm just going to focus this right on the nose because that's where I get the most oil buildup. I don't get oily anywhere else. My skin everywhere else is pretty much normal, but my nose can be detrimental to my makeup. Next, I'm going to go in with my Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm. This is my favorite balm to use to also help with oil, sweat, and things like that. I'm not going to put it in the area where I put the oil sucker. I'm going to just put it everywhere else. Even though my skin is normal everywhere else, I do feel like this just gives me that extra protection just in case my skin is weird sometimes. Sometimes it wants to be normal, sometimes it wants to be oily. So we just want to make sure that we're covered. I'm just using the Morphe V100 brush just to smooth this out everywhere else. Even though this is a medium coverage foundation, I'm still going to go in with my Huda Beauty color corrector. This is in the shade Papaya, just to help cancel out any hyperpigmentation or discoloration. The thing about this color corrector that I just love is that it just melts into the skin. It gives you that coverage, but it doesn't cause me to look crazy orange. Just as it says, it's literally giving a faux filter. And Huda Beauty is the queen of giving a filter. Either way, I just love it, and I have not found a color corrector that is better than that one. But if you know one, leave me a comment. I would love to look into it and try it out, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to beat my girl. I'm going to use a little bit of the One Size Rich Peach Setting Powder just to further enforce the color corrector. Just taking a little bit of it, and I'm just going to pat the excess off on the back of my hand and just set all of it in place. Now, you can't tell me those two together don't give you the ultimate blur. I learned this method using Rich Peach with the Huda Beauty color corrector from Jackie Aina, and it has been a lifesaver. Now we can really get into applying the foundation. I'm just going to go in with one full pump just to see how far that one pump is going to take us. Being that this foundation costs $48, I really want to see how much we can make it stretch. Now, I will be using the best foundation brush on the planet, the Makeup by Mario F4 dual-ended foundation and face brush. If you know me, if you've been watching me for a while, you know that I live by this foundation brush. Let's just go right into it just to see how far this one pump is really going to stretch us. And let's get into a swatch. We already knew that the foundation was going to look a little bit too bright at first. We are going to see how well it looks on the skin after a few minutes. Okay, so I'm back and I put the foundation all over, and honestly, I love the way that it looks and feels, but I'm not too crazy about the shade of it. So as I said before, I do feel like there can be like 1 or 2 shades in between these two shades. So I'm definitely gonna say I'm in between the two shades, but I feel like I can definitely make both of these work. I did do a TikTok video of me using the darker shade, and it doesn't look too bad, but of course we can still make her work. My neck has always been a different color from the rest of my body. It's not too much darker from the rest of my body, but it definitely looks a little bit darker. Whereas if you look at the rest of my body, it's definitely a little lighter. I always try to take that into consideration whenever I'm choosing a foundation shade. Just off the way that it looks and feels alone, it does look super blurring. It does give a lightweight feel. It does not give matte or luminous or dewy. It definitely gives that natural finish. I do think Mario did a phenomenal job with getting that part down packed, but I'm just hoping we get some more shades in the near future. I'm going to go ahead and add some color back to the skin because it is looking a little flat. I'm going to use the LYS Contour and Bronzing Stick. This one's in the shade Strength. It's like the second to darkest shade in this product. I just love it because it's super creamy and it blends out beautifully every single time. It does not matter what products I put with it. Okay, I definitely think that looks so much better. I totally forgot how pigmented the LYS contour stick is. It gave us that depth and that warmth back to the skin and really gave us that color back because we were looking a little flat. And I really feel like it helps balance out that foundation. It's really looking good so far. Let's go ahead and move on to some blush, a little bit of concealer, and let's wrap this up. I'm going to use the Too Faced concealer. This one's in the shade Caramel. The Too Faced concealer is definitely one of my favorite concealers to use because of the coverage that it gives. You really don't need to use a lot of it. It's basically foundation just in a smaller bottle. And they changed the name to concealer, even though it really is a concealer. It just gives you that beautiful coverage. That's why I always say it's basically foundation in a bottle. I'm going to go ahead and blend out the concealer using the Makeup by Mario F5 concealer brush. This is definitely one of my favorite concealer brushes. Actually, it's my #1 favorite concealer brush. I'm going to start off with the chin, then I'll move on to the forehead, doing the eyes and right above the lip last. Okay, so far so good. I really feel like it's coming together. I'm going to use this Laura Mercier setting powder in the shade Translucent Honey. I'm only going to use this in my concealer areas, and then I'm going to use a different setting powder for all over the face. Okay, so I went in with a little bit of blush, a little bit of highlighter, and bronzer. I'll definitely link everything down below, that way you can see it. But I'm going to go in and use the Morphe Continuous Mist just to put this all over, just to melt everything together. And then I'm going to use the One Size On Till Dawn just to help seal everything in place. That way nothing moves. This is my favorite combo to do every single time, just about, especially if I know I'm going to be out for an extended amount of time. But I just want to see how well my favorite combo and the foundation holds up. I'm going to do this really quick. I'll be back, get changed. That way I can go run this errands, and I'll definitely try to remember to keep y'all updated with the wear test. We're back and we're almost ready to hop out the door. I just want to put on a little bit of lip balm. So I'm going to use the Summer Fridays lip balm. Normally I would do a lip combo, but I do think I'm going to be going out for a little bit of lunch. So we're not going to do lip combo today because then I'll have to reapply it more than likely. It's currently about, I want to say 10:05. I want to say it might be 10:10. But it's still early in the day, so I will be able to get a really, really good wear test in today. Really let y'all see and let y'all know how it's doing. I should be back home in a few hours, so I'll definitely keep y'all updated. This is the Summer Fridays lip balm in the shade Hot Cocoa. It's just like a really cute kind of like brown shade, and it definitely smells just like hot cocoa. This is the finished glam. Definitely leave me a comment and let me know what y'all think, and I will see y'all in the next few hours just to give y'all a wear test update. Okay, so I'm letting my dogs out at the moment. I think this is like 2 or 3 hours afterwards, and honestly everything is looking good. It looks phenomenal in natural lighting. See, there go one of my babies. It looks phenomenal in natural lighting for sure. I definitely think I'm going to keep this shade because like I said, I just think it looks super, super good. Yeah, I would definitely be keeping y'all updated on the wear test. I do have to run a quick little errand again, and then I'm gonna come back and we'll see how it is looking inside this time, of course. And give my final thoughts. I'm back, and this is how my makeup is looking 7 hours in, and honestly it looks really, really good. My natural oils have definitely started to come through a little bit, but it did hold up really, really good. When it comes to giving a really nice foundation wear test, I do think you need to go in with favorite or your best products. So that's exactly what I did. I went in with the One Size Oil Sucker, the Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm, Huda Beauty Color Corrector. I did all of the things. I even set my face with my favorite setting sprays, One Size, Morphe, in 7 hours in, and I think it looks really, really good. So for me, I feel like when it comes to your makeup doesn't really get to look its best until it's able to like marinate. So I would say maybe like for an hour or two, maybe even 3, when everything really starts to come together and just blend together. I feel like that's like the peak of your makeup. I hope that makes sense, because it definitely makes sense to me. I definitely think I'm going to keep this shade and hope that Mario one day gives us a shade in between the two, but I'm definitely going to return the other one. For a natural finish foundation, is definitely giving exactly what it needs to give, that natural finish. I do like this one way better than the luminous one. The luminous one didn't feel heavy, but it definitely doesn't feel as light as this one. This one is super lightweight, and I only used 2.5 pumps of foundation to cover my whole face. I do feel like that's really, really decent. Plus, I have kind of a big head as well. So, you know, a smaller head, smaller face, you will use less. Hopefully. I'm going to give this foundation a solid 9 out of 10. I love the way that it wears. I love the way that it feels. The only negative I really have is the shade ranges. As there's only 32 shades, when we do have other brands that have over, you know, 50 shades. So yeah, those are my final thoughts on the Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Natural Finish Foundation. I do want to thank y'all so much for watching this video. I really, really do appreciate it. If you haven't already, definitely make sure you hit that subscribe button. Turn on your notifications. That way you know whenever I drop a new video. Make sure you also follow me on my other social media platform at BAI-BES. That's on Snapchat, Instagram, and TikTok. And I will see y'all on the next video.